Hello, everyone. I'm so glad you could come. Thank you. I'm Liza Grantrambi. I am the editor-in-chief of Locus magazine, and I'm so happy that you could all make it. You'll have to forgive me wearing flip-flops now, but those other shoes were really hurting. So welcome to the Locus Awards. Hopefully, fingers crossed, this is actually going out onto YouTube, and it's certainly going out onto Zoom. And so people who aren't here can enjoy it too and see what we're getting to experience tonight. It's going to be a great night. I'd like to start with a land acknowledgement. We acknowledge that the Locus Science Fiction Foundation offices in Oakland, California are situated on the unceded traditional homelands of the people of the Muwekma Ohlone tribe. With genuine respect and support, Locus recognizes that Indigenous peoples are the original stewards of this land and valued members of our community. We are thankful for the opportunity to honor them, and we are eternally grateful to their ancestors and their descendants' commitment to protecting the land. And because I like to keep things short as much as I can, we're gonna move right along. So I'm turning the program over to our Master of Ceremonies, Emperor Stardust.
Hi, my name is Emperor Stardust, and this song is called Princess Locus. Hit it. Or shall I hit it? Please talk amongst yourselves. Okay, hit it. And wait.
Ready to connect. Another device. iPhone 2. Disconnected. iPhone 3. Connected to Henry's loyal AI sidekick.
Take 3. Hit it.
Locus, she fell from afar, an alien crocus, robot superstar. The category of her skill is reporting stories with her laser grip. She's more than just a history clerk. She tells a story of our work. Princess Locus, Princess Locus. Princess Locus spoke her words and woke us. Princess Locus, Princess Locus. No hocus pocus when the princess evokes us. Princess Locus, Princess Locus. Princess Locus spoke her words and woke us. Princess Locus, Princess Locus. No hocus pocus when the princess evokes us. She's a princess. She doesn't have love or go gossiping. She does her job, she's just a sweetheart thing. She has a course on a call to you to see reports and carnival news of those who write of other worlds. The universe who have unfold. Princess Locus, Princess Locus. Princess Locus spoke her words and woke us. Princess Locus, Princess Locus. No hocus pocus when the princess evokes us. Princess Locus, Princess Locus. Princess Locus spoke her words and woke us. Princess Locus, Princess Locus. No hocus pocus when the princess evokes us. She's a princess. Not materialist, that's simply because she's just a journalist. Not here to please or defend her fitness to call it as she sees and be a witness to the wealth of words of worth. The document the words on her. Cash Princess Locus, Princess Locus. Princess Locus spoke the word of Princess Locus, Princess Locus. No hocus pocus when the princess evokes us. Princess Locus, Princess Locus. Princess Locus spoke the word and woke us. Princess Locus, Princess Locus. No hocus pocus when the princess evokes us. She's a princess.
Now the first award is for the best art book. So pretty, 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 and such a handsome look. Presented by Locus Magazine art director and senior editor Francesca Myman.
Thank you, Emperor Stardust. I'm Francesca Myman, and I'll be presenting the Best Illustrated in Art Book category. I don't think it is possible to say enough words about how vital it is to support real art made by real human artists right now. I can't imagine why. So let's look at some of these luminaries. The finalists are...
The finalists for the Locus Award for Best Illustrated and Art Book are The Culture, The Drawings by Ian M. Banks, Home to Stay, The Complete Ray Bradbury EC Stories by Ray Bradbury, adapted by L. Feldstein, art by Jack Davis, Frank Frazetta, Al Williamson, Wallace Wood, et al. The Pen and Ink Drawings of Tony Dieterlitzzi by Tony Dieterlitzzi, Spectrum Fantastic Art Quarterly, Volume 3, edited by Kathy Fenner and Arnie Fenner. The Fantastic Worlds of Frank Frazetta, edited by Diane Hansen, art by Frank Frazetta. The Last Count of Monte Cristo by Aizi Jama Everett, art by Tristan Roach. Voyaging, Volume 1, The Plague Star by George R.R. Martin, art and adaptation by Rhea Golden. Thalamus, Volumes 1, Sci-Fi Art of the 1970s by Adam Rowe. Afrofuturism, A History of Black Futures, edited by Kevin M. Strait and Kinshasa Holman Conwell.
All right, let's find out. And the winner is The Culture of the Drawings by Ian M. Banks, published by Orbit US and Orbit UK.
Hello, I'm Anna Jackson, and I'm publisher of Orbit UK, and my pronouns are she, her. Wow, I am utterly honoured to accept this award for The Culture of the Drawings on behalf of the hugely adored and much missed Ian M. Banks, as well as the Banks estate. This is a very emotional moment for us because this book is the last original work of Ian's that will ever be published. It has been our absolute joy and our privilege to be able to share this very special book with Ian's fans. Ian loved to draw, and the drawings in this book come from Ian's own personal files, where there was a wealth of drawings of ships and weapons and drones and maps and habitats of the culture, all drawn in really meticulous detail. And these were often drawn on thin translucent paper or in math jotters or on random scraps of paper, and often in very tiny script. And literally years of painstaking work went into reproducing these rather flimsy pencil sketches and reproducing them accurately so that Ian's fans could really examine them in close detail and delight in his genius. Thanks so much to the very talented team of people who made this book possible. Firstly, thank you to Adele Banks, who has always been and continues to be the most passionate and dedicated guardian of Ian's work. Thank you also to the estate's agent, Becky Brown, for her painstaking care for the work and her wonderfully scrupulous attention to detail. Thank you also to the teams at Orbit and Little Brown, who worked so hard on bringing this book to publication. Thanks to the teams at Bourne and the Edinburgh Copy Shop, who took these really fragile, aging bits of paper and made them legible and publishable. And thank you finally to Ken MacLeod, who provided hugely valuable insight into the drawings and into Ian's imagination. So yes, we're all so proud to receive this award for The Culture of the Drawings. It truly is a work of boundless imagination, and we very much hope that Ian's fans will be poring over this book for years to come. Thank you.
Who uses a light pen like a laser sword, the winner of the Best Artist Award. Presented by Francesca Myman.
I'm Francesca Myman. I'm here to present the Best Real Human Artist category. The finalists are
The finalists for the Locus Award for Best Artist are Julie Dillon, Bob Eggleton, Abigail Larson, John Picasso, Charles Vess, Michael Whalen, Alyssa Winans.
All right, let's see. And the winner is the wonderful artist, John Picasso.
Hey there, Locus. Very grateful for this. Thank you so much. This has been a heck of a year. I've been sort of, I guess, making a transition, but really it's more of an expansion. I've been doing covers now in our field for, 28 years? And over this last year, I've been really building myself toward becoming a storyteller, creating my own books, creating my own characters and properties. And I guess in the midst of making that transition, there's a lot of uncertainty, a lot of darkness, quite frankly, where you just are not sure if you're going the right way. But I think I am, and I guess winning this sort of feels like a validation of that. And I'm just grateful to be remembered, to be included in this community, and to be a part of this year's winners. It really means the world right now. And thank you so much. Take care out there.
Fiction is fact in disguise, but the best nonfiction tells no lies. Presented by author Gail Carriger.
Hello, everybody. I'm Gail Carriger, and I'm presenting the category Best Nonfiction. The finalists are...
The finalists for the Locus Award for Best Nonfiction are The Fiction Writer's Guide to Alternate History by Jack Dan, 42, The Wildly Improbable Ideas of Douglas Adams, edited by Kevin John Davies, Wish I Was Here, an Anti-Memoir by M. John Harrison, All These Worlds by Neil Harrison, 101 Horror Books to Read Before You're Murdered by Sadie Hartman, Space Crone by Ursula K. Le Guin, Ex Marginalia, Essays on Writing Speculative Fiction by Persons of Color, edited by Chinelo Onwalu, A Traveler in Time, The Critical Practice of Maureen Kincaid Speller by Maureen Kincaid Speller, Owning the Unknown, a science fiction writer explores atheism, agnosticism, and the idea of God by Robert Charles Wilson, Being Michael Swanwick by Alvaro Zeno Simaro.
And the winner is Space Crone by Ursula K. Le Guin, published by Silver.
Cosmic thanks to the Locus team and all Locus readers. This recognition means so much to us, not for ourselves, but for the beloved and much missed Ursula K. Le Guin. When she gave what is perhaps the most famous awards acceptance speech of the 21st century, Le Guin inspired us all to action by saying,
I think hard times are coming when we will be wanting the voices of writers who can see alternatives to how we live now and can see through our fear-stricken society and its obsessive technologies to other ways of being, and even imagine some real grounds for hope. We will need writers who can remember freedom, poets, visionaries, the realists of a larger reality.
Of course, Le Guin was and remains that visionary poet, and we are humbled to share her work in Space Crone. For that, thank you to Theo Le Guin and the Ursula K. Le Guin Literary Trust for all your support and, indeed, your trust. And also to Le Guin's agents, Ginger Clark in the US and Susan Smith in the UK, who collectively made the process of researching, collating, and presenting this book to readers such a dream.
This award crowns a deeply humbling 15 months of traveling with Space Crone, observing the incredible, continuing growth of the roots and branches of the tree that is Le Guin's work and legacy. As editors, publishers, readers, writers, feminists, activists, and accomplices, we are honored to share Le Guin's writing across feminism, environmentalism, anarchism, and pacifism, all of which resonate as powerfully as ever, and perhaps even more.
Reflecting today on Le Guin's words, hard times are here. As we witness and cry out against genocide in Palestine and global climate catastrophe, we are wanting the voice of Le Guin, who spoke out her entire adult life against the US war machine and its obsessive technologies of destruction, against genocide, against ecocide and epistemicide, against occupation and imprisonment, against violence and domination, and always for freedom as our larger reality.
At Silver Press, we are committed to growing and cherishing Ursula K. Le Guin's visionary work for its poetry and its power. Free Palestine. Be the revolution. Good night.
Editors editors, please be gentle on us, but the best editor must be merciless. Presented by Gail Carriger.
Right, I'm still Gail Carriger, although I could be somebody else in a Gail Carriger meat suit, you never know. And I'm presenting in the category of Best Editor. And the finalists are...
The finalists for the Locus Award for Best Editor are Neil Clark, Ellen Datlow, Oguna Choe, Donald Ekpeki, Arlie Sorg and Christy Yant, Jonathan Strawn, Lynn M. Thomas, and Mike Vandermeer, Sheila Williams.
And the winner is... Neil Clark.
This is unexpected, very unexpected. I tried to record a video outside my house today, but I'm never comfortable in front of the camera and ended up thinking, why are you doing this to yourself? You aren't going to win any of the categories you're up for. Good old imposter syndrome is always much more likely to win. It was at that moment that a chipmunk bounced over to me looking for food. Instead of filming, I chose to feed him at his little picnic table. Yes, we have a picnic table for him. You might even be seeing a photo I sent along to demonstrate this particular illness. So it appears I was wrong about winning. Not the worst thing to be wrong about. Pretty good, actually. 2023 was a rough year for Clarksville and several other magazines. The villains of my particular story are OpenAI and Amazon. They have my scorn. Thanks to them, there have been many days where I've just wanted to throw my hands in the air, scream, and walk away from it all. I probably wouldn't have made it through that without the community that stood behind me. Readers, authors, artists, translators, colleagues, my family, Sean, Kate, the rest of the Clarksville team, and even sympathetic strangers who have not yet discovered the joy of short fiction. Each of them has my thanks and appreciation. In many ways, this award is a symbol of that support. A special gift from the community that I'm honored to accept and can't wait to see in person. Thank you, Locus. Thank you, Locus voters. And thanks to my furry friend who spared us all from an incoherent video. I hope that you all have a wonderful evening. Thank you.
They only wish us well, they're only well-wishers. They publish just the best, and here's the best publisher. Presented by Locus Magazine Editor-in-Chief, Liza Grun-Tromby.
I'm back. I'm getting rid of this. That's been bugging me. Okay, best publisher. Can't live with him, can't live without him. I'm a publisher, I shouldn't say that. But let's see who the top 10 are for this year.
The finalists for the Locus Award for Best Publisher are Angry Robot, Daw, Galance, Neon Hemlock, Orbit, Small Beer, Subterranean, Tachyon, Tor, Tor.com.
And the winner of the Locus Award for Best Publisher in 2024 is Tor Books.
Hi, I'm Davy Pillay, and I'm president and publisher of the Tor Publishing Group. We're so excited by this honor, and we know that it's because of our fans. We wouldn't be where we are without our authors and our readers, so I want to thank you so much and let you know that we adore you. And because we've hogged the limelight for years, we'd like to recuse ourselves for future nominations for the next few years and let others shine. Thank you so much. Bye.
Caffeine, nicotine, slot machines. Nothing's as addictive as the best magazine we've seen. Presented by Liza Grun-Tromby.
I know, you're going to see a lot of me tonight, sorry. So yeah, magazines, they're cool. Magazines are really one of the places that we see so much experimentation, and we see new voices and find new creators, and we see art and nonfiction, and there are just a wonderful playground of creativity and innovation, and I don't know where the field would be without them. So for this year, we have the finalists. It's going to happen.
The finalists for the Locus Award for Best Magazine are Analog, Asimov's, Beneath Ceaseless Skies, Clark's World.
Staff, everyone who voted for us, our agent Lisa Rogers at Jabberwocky, and finally a huge thank you to every single member of the Space Unicorn Ranger Corps. We make Uncanny Magazine for all of you, you magnificent space unicorns. Keep making the world a better place with your art and kindness. Thank you.
Most of all, we want to thank the world's greatest daughter, Caitlin, who is the strongest, fiercest, most loving, and most amazing human we have ever known. She passed away in April, and we miss her more than we can ever express. Caitlin lived a life entirely without malice, full of joy and everyday things.
She was the best of us, and she touched many, many lives. She loved her people fiercely and unconditionally, and was extremely loved in return. Caitlin had a lifetime of adventures and will live on forever in our hearts. The Space Unicorn was always Caitlin.
We love you, Caitlin. Do you collect stamps or crazy ex-boyfriends? The best collections, writing specimens. Presented by Locus senior editor and author Tim Pratt.
Hello everyone, I'm Tim Pratt. I like novels fine, but my first love as a reader and a writer is short fiction, and I love collections because you can watch how an author develops, how they grow, and often what they think their best stories are, and then you can see if you agree. Our finalists for this year are...
The finalists for the Locus Award for Best Collection are The Essential Peter S. Beagle, Volumes 1 and 2 by Peter S. Beagle, Zen and the Art of Starship Maintenance and Other Stories by Tobias S. Bacal, The Wishing Pool and Other Stories by Tananarive Dew, White Cat, Black Dog by Kelly Link, No One Will Come Back for Us by Premi Muhammad, Jackal, Jackal by Toby Ogundaron, Skin Thief by Susan Palumbo, Lost Places by Sarah Pinsker, The Best of Michael Swanwick, Volume 2 by Michael Swanwick, The Best of Catherine M. Valente, Volume 1 by Catherine M. Valente.
And our winner is White Cat, Black Dog by Kelly Link.
Hi, I just wanted to say thank you so much to the readers and the subscribers of Locus who voted for the work in this category. And I want to thank Locus Magazine especially for not just reviewing my work, but drawing my attention to so much good short fiction, so many novels, so many new readers that I've discovered because I found out about them in Locus Magazine. Thanks, y'all.
Best anthologies like Noah's Ark, it's got it all from zebras to aardvarks. Presented by Tim Pratt.
So I've edited anthologies, and if you haven't, what you need to know is it combines the ease of herding cats with the delights of doing a lot of tedious paperwork. But it also has a joyful side, which is when you find that story that is just perfect for the project you're doing, and you know you get to be the person to bring it to the world, you get to show it to people. So I have nothing but admiration for the editors of these finalists.
The finalists for the Locus Award for Best Anthology are The Best Science Fiction of the Year, Volume 7, edited by Neil Clark. Christmas and Other Horrors, edited by...
That this anthology would not have been possible without the hard work and incredible eye for talent of John Joseph Adams. But most of all, I'm grateful to the beautifully twisted imaginations of the 19 Black authors who contributed to this anthology. It's an honor to have my name next to each of yours. So that's Jordan's statement. I echo all of that, including that I have an incredible eye for talent. But seriously, it was a huge honor to work on this book, and I'm just really excited to see the community embrace it and to deem it worthy of an award like this. So thank you so much.
It's special, so special, Locus Special Award. So special it deserves a special power chord. Presented by Locus Managing Editor Kirsten Gong Wang.
Hi there. I'm Kirsten Gong Wang, and I'm the Managing Editor. Today, though, I am substituting for our senior editor, Locus senior editor, Arlie Sorg, and these words are his. Jeannie Cavellis is driven by her passion for both craft and teaching. Even in her days as an editor, senior editor at Bantam Doubleday Dell, it wasn't enough for her to acquire books and launch imprints. She closely studied what works for readers and how various authors put stories together, carefully unpacking secrets hidden between sentences. She left publishing to put her knowledge into practice as a writer, but that passion for teaching would not be satisfied by putting out books. Before her New York roles, she had been an astrophysicist and mathematician, teaching at Michigan State and Cornell University. So she went back to teaching by working at St. Anselm College in Manchester, where she taught writing and advanced fiction writing, and by founding the Odyssey Writing Workshop in 1996. There was no tidy partnership, no group of people making Odyssey happen every year. Jeannie is the heartbeat, she is the engine and the fuel and the driver. Even after decades of running Odyssey, after helping so many authors hone their craft, the things that excite her most are conversation about craft, discovering new talent, and seeing students succeed. Don't take my word for it. Find her at ReaderCon. Ask her what she thought about a book or a movie. Share your thoughts and watch her eyes light up. You'll see her smile, whether or not you agree. Jenny smiles simply for the love of genre, out of her passion for craft, and for the joys of engaging in story. We are thrilled to honor her today, to recognize this passion and the impact she has had on the field. The Locus Special Award 2024 for fostering excellence in craft and career, and it goes to Jeannie Cavellis and the Odyssey Writing Workshop.
This is a lovely surprise. Thank you so much to everyone at Locus Magazine. When I started the Odyssey Writing Workshops almost 30 years ago, I had no idea what I was getting into. I had no idea how much work and how little sleep would be involved. I was taken aback to discover that running Odyssey would involve facing a classroom of students all wearing Frodo masks. I was troubled to uncover ceremonies involving a crown of paper clips and toilet paper, the reading of an excerpt from the Odyssey, torture dancing, a can of condensed milk, and a plush goat were being used to prepare for critique sessions. On the positive side, I was gratified to be told that if I had a beard, I would look exactly like Abraham Lincoln. I was delighted to discover how many writers, editors, and agents in our community would be willing to share their knowledge with students. I was heartened that graduates and others in our community would be willing to support Odyssey in many ways, so Odyssey could go on to help more writers. I was amazed at the spirit, determination, and perseverance of the incredible writers I've had the honor of working with. Thank you so much to all those who have taught and critiqued at Odyssey, and all those who have supported and helped our programs become more accessible, more meaningful, and more effective. I love working with writers, and I've had such incredible experiences over these 30 years, sharing their struggles and dreams, their light bulb moments, their progress and breakthroughs, encouraging them to never stop growing, taking joy in their successes, and making so many wonderful friends. Here's to many more years.
Listen to the story and you won't be sorry, because it is the story of a doctor named Cory. He writes about the future and it's pretty shitty, but he does it well, so it's almost pretty. It looks so bad, but it feels so right. I'm scared of what I'm seeing, Cory, hold me tight. Cory Doctorow, show us crappy tomorrows. Cory Doctorow, show us crappy tomorrows. Cory Doctorow, show us crappy tomorrows.
Goodness me! What an introduction. Hello! Greetings, my fellow Luddites. As one Luddite to a group of Luddites, I salute you. Okay, so that might be a little jarring, so if you'll permit me, the rest of this keynote is consumed with an explanation of what I meant by that. So, Luddite obviously today has come to mean a technophobe who is so frightened of a new machine that they hit it with a hammer. But this is so far from the historical truth of the Luddites that and what they campaign for, that it truly proves that maxim that history is written by the winners, because the Luddites most assuredly lost. They have lied to you all your life about what the Luddites meant. So here is a short and true history of the Luddites. The first thing you need to know is that the Luddites were not afraid of machines. To be a skilled textile worker at the dawn of the Industrial Revolution required a 7-year apprenticeship. This is like getting a master's degree in mechanical engineering from MIT. Textile workers were not afraid of machines. So what provoked the Luddites if not fear? It was rage. After all, their bosses were dead set on acquiring machines on the basis that they were so easy that a child could use them. And this wasn't an accident. After all, London's orphanages were busting at the seams with orphans from the Napoleonic Wars, and the textile mill owners had a plan. They would lure these children to their dark satanic mills and trick them into signing indenture papers and put them to work for 10 years and beat them and starve them and maim them and often kill them to produce cheaper but wildly inferior textiles. It's impossible to overstate how cruel the conditions in the mills were for these children. In fact, they were genuinely and literally Dickensian. So one of the most famous of the children who survived the mills was an orphan named Robert Blincoe. And when he escaped the mills, he wrote a best-selling memoir of his experiences, which so inspired Charles Dickens that he wrote Oliver Twist. Oliver Twist is Luddite fanfic. The Luddites weren't afraid of the machines. To the extent that they had an opinion about those machines, it was this: these are defective machines that produce inferior products that will pauperize us and doom a generation of our friends and neighbors into surviving with inferior products. But that wasn't their primary concern. That was a secondary concern. What they were really motivated by was not what the machines did, but who the machines did it for and who the machines did it to. And that's why I greet you tonight as my fellow Luddites. Because the job of a science fiction writer, the job of any writer who conjures up a contrafactual world, is to reimagine our social arrangements. Not just to invent a gadget, but to explore and challenge scenarios about who the gadget might do things for and whom it might do them to. In an age in which our tech barons keep on inventing the goddamn torment nexus, this is a very important thing to remember about these genres we write in. Because science fiction doesn't do anything as pointless as predicting. What science fiction does is it contests. It rejects that story that is so dominant in the tech industry about the inevitability of their products and the social arrangements that govern those products. Like Google's claim that the only way you could possibly search the internet is to allow Google to spy on you. Or Facebook's claim that the only way you could possibly have friends on the internet is to allow Facebook to spy on you. Or Apple's claim that the only way you could possibly have an easy-to-use and secure platform is to allow Apple to overrule your decisions and surrender your autonomy to it. Sure, big tech wants to sell us a 7-course pre-feast menu that ends with that big fat shit sandwich. But science fiction shows us that there is no reason not to demand that this be made a la carte. 6 courses hold the shit sandwich. Back in 2019, Mark Zuckerberg awoke out of a sound sleep with a revelation. He's told us, look, I told you that your future consisted solely of arguing with your racist uncle on the primitive text interface I invented so that me and my fellow creepy Harvard undergraduates could non-consensually rate the fuckability of our fellow undergraduates. However, I have had a vision, and I'm here to tell it to you. You and everyone you love will be converted into a legless, sexless, low-polygon, heavily surveilled cartoon character in a 25-year-old dystopian science fiction cyberpunk novel called The Metaverse. Zuck's really leaning into that old torment nexus here. And the saddest, weirdest thing about all of this is that he insists that this is inevitable. Why is it inevitable? Because he read it in a science fiction novel. Talk about missing the point. The point of science fiction is that there is nothing predictable about our world. Science fiction is the ultimate rebuttal to Margaret Thatcher's odious motto that there is no alternative. I'm a science fiction writer. My job is to think of 6 alternatives every morning before breakfast. That is the most ironic thing about those tech bros who keep on inventing the torment nexus. The belief that they're fulfilling a prophecy. The belief that becomes a marketing claim. After all, how many times have you heard someone say, AI is here to stay. AI is inevitable. What a profoundly ahistorical claim. If these pitchmen had been reading histories of the AI industry instead of futuristic fairy tales written by science fiction novelists, they would know that the history of AI consists of a series of breakthroughs that were heralded as profoundly transformative, as the first step in a series of breakthroughs that would continue marching to infinity, transforming everything, and that every single one of them fizzled. Here's just a partial list from an excellent article by Glyph Lefkowitz called The Grand Unified Theory of the AI Hype Cycle. There were neural networks and symbolic reasoning in the 1950s. There were theorem provers in the 1960s. There were expert systems in the 1980s. There were fuzzy logic and hidden Markov models in the 1990s. And who can forget the deep learning of the 2010s? Sure, those gadgets did something, but not as much as their boosters claim they would. And far from being the start of a long, upward screaming curve to infinity, each one turned out to be just another short vertical detour from one flat line to another flat line. They were modest S-curves that only looked like hockey stick-shaped exponential growth if you squinted really hard and did everything you could to forget how this all cashed out last time, preferably by closing your eyes and thinking of a science fiction novel. The pump and dump AI stock swindlers are weaponizing science fiction to claim that they are inevitable, that the spicy autocomplete that they foisted upon us is on the verge of becoming as good at writing as we are, and then better. Like the textile machines of the dark satanic mills, the value of these programs that guess the next word isn't that they make something good, it's that they make something cheap. Our bosses don't think they found a better way to do what we do. They think they found a cheaper way to do something far worse than what we do, and they're making a bet that they can fire our asses and replace us with robots that pump out endless floods of anodyne bot shit and sell it by citing our own work as the prophecy that marks it as inevitable. If it can shit out a plausible sentence today, it'll shit out excellent sentences tomorrow. Haven't you read your Asimov? This thing is positively positronic. Over and over again, killer AI demos just turn out to be people in robot suits. I mean, sometimes literally. You remember in 2021 when Elon Musk demoed an impressive dancing bipedal robot that literally turned out to be just a person in a robot suit? And sometimes it's only figurative, like Amazon's grab-and-go stores, where we were told that AI cameras would see what you put in your basket and automatically bill you as you left the store. Those cameras turned out to actually be manned by low-wage Indian call center workers squinting at monitors trying to figure out what you had put in your basket. This happens so often that technologists in India actually have a joke about it. They say that AI stands for absent Indians. Now that's where we come in. Our job, the job of our genre, is to bust these inevitabilist narratives, to reveal that there's always a little man behind the curtain. People sometimes ask me whether it's hard to write science fiction in the 21st century, now that technology is progressing so quickly that it overtakes the predictions you make in your novels. Boy, oh boy, do these people misunderstand what science fiction is for and how it works. We are not in the prophecy business. Notwithstanding Robert A. Timeline and all of his friends, prophecy is a con game. We are not in the prophecy business. We are in the contestation business. We are in the there is always an alternative business. And that's where we've been since the start. Mary Shelley defined our genre with a firmly Luddite novel. Frankenstein, or the modern Prometheus, was a Luddite allegory about the machine getting away from the entrepreneur, written by Shelley, who was deeply enmeshed and supportive of the Luddite struggle, as was her husband, Lord Byron, whose maiden speech in the House of Lords was an impassioned defense of the Luddites. So I call myself a Luddite, and I hope that after this speech, you'll consider calling yourself a Luddite too. You'll be in the very best of company, because this literature that we write, it's a Luddite literature. And now more than ever, that's the literature that we all desperately need. Thank you very much.
It's short, but that doesn't thwart the best short stories literary import. Presented by author Audrey T. Williams.
Hi everyone, I'm Audrey T. Williams and I am presenting the Best Short Story category. And the finalists are...
The finalists for the Locus Award for Best Short Story are A Soul in the World by Charlie Jane Anders, How to Raise a Kraken in Your Bathtub by P. Jelly Clark, The Mausoleum's Children by Aliette Dubedard, Supper Time by Tananarive Due, Window Boy by Thomas Ha, Reckless Eyeballing by N.K. Jemisin. The Sound of Children Screaming by Rachel K. Jones. Those Hitchhiking Kids by Darcy Little Badger. Stones by Nnedi Okorafor. There's a Door to the Land of the Dead in the Land of the Dead by Sarah Pinsker.
And the winner is How to Raise a Kraken in Your Bathtub, published by Fenderson Jelly Clark in Uncanny Magazine.
Hi, everybody. I think I just won a Locus Award. Wow. Who would have thought a weird little story of sea monsters, colonialism, and a shout out to Jules Verne would go this far? Thank you. I want to express my humble and heartfelt gratitude for this award. First off, thanks to Lynn M. Thomas and Michael Damian Thomas as editors of Uncanny Magazine for just giving this story a home. From the first time I saw that magazine and its fantastic covers, I was like, what is it and how do I get in there? Lynn and Michael do so much for the larger sci-fi fantasy community as individuals, and with Uncanny, they provide this much needed space for writers with quirky, what the heck was I thinking stories like mine. So thank you both so much, and everyone make sure you support the important work Uncanny is doing however you can. Subscriptions, donations are nice. Finally, thank you to the readers who helped push the story. You're the best, and thank you everyone, and good night.
It's somewhat longer than the alphabet, but shorter than Tolkien. It's the best novelette. Presented by Audrey T. Williams.
So again, I'm Audrey T. Williams, and I am presenting the Best Novelette category. And the finalists are...
The finalists for the Locus Award for Best Novelette are What I Remember of Oresha Moondragon Devshrata by P. Jelly Clark, John Hollowback and the Witch by Amal El Motar, I Am I by Ai Zhang, The Year Without Sunshine by Naomi Kritzer, Premi Muhammad, The Rainbow Bank by Uchechukwu Nwakun, One Man's Treasure by Sarah Pinsker, 6 Versions of My Brother Found Under a Bridge by Ivinia Trantafilu, On the Fox Roads by Nevo.
And the winner is The Rainbow Bank by Uchechukwu Nwaka, published in Giganotosaurus.
To be the recipient of this award, I want to say thank you to everyone who voted for me. Thank you to everyone who believed in my work. When I started writing, I didn't really know what I was doing, and winning this award right now, it means a lot to me. I'm really grateful to the editors at Giganotosaurus for believing in the work in the early stages and all the help they gave me with editing, and I'm really thankful to my friends who encouraged me all the way through this journey, just encouraging me really to just get my work out there. I'm really thankful to the community for being so supportive. Everybody here is just so great, and I'm deeply humbled, greatly honored to be on the receiving end of this award. Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
The best novella is like an umbrella. It's kinda small, but it opens up like Cinderella. Presented by author Rebecca Gomez Farrell.
Hello, I am indeed Rebecca Gomez Farrell, and I am delighted to present the Locus Award for Best Novella. Here are the finalists.
The finalists for the Locus Award for Best Novella are The Crane Husband by Kelly Barnhill, The Last Dragoners of Bao's Bazaar by Indra Das, Ling Hun by Ai Zhang, The Salt Grows Heavy by Cassandra Kaw, Thornhedge by T. Kingfisher, Rose/House by Arkady Martine. Lost in the Moment and Found by Shonen Maguire. The Mimicking of Known Successes by Malka Older. The Lies of the Ojungo by Moses Ose Otomi. Mammoths at the Gates by Nevo.
And the winner is Thornhedge by T. Kingfisher.
Hello everyone! I am coming to you from my garden in North Carolina, and I am just so honored to be the recipient of a Locus Award. This is so cool. Thank you. Thank you to Locus. Thank you to my editor, my publisher, my agent, my husband, definitely my husband, and the voters. It's so wonderful. The eastern skunk cabbage is one of the few plants on Earth that can produce its own heat. Mostly we associate that with mammals, but in fact a number of plants can do it. And the interesting thing about them is they almost all stink. And so as far as we can tell, the benefit of being able to raise the ambient air temperature around you is that you attract things that are attracted to smell. The smell molecules will waft farther and activate more the warmer they are. So if you attract flies or carrion beetles, things like that, they come running. Skunk cabbage also has a fascinating thing. They will warm up early, and this allows them to get a head start on everything because they can actually melt the snow and ice over them. They are so hot. So they will be green and growing when the ground is frozen solid for everybody else, which for a plant is really pretty badass and worries me a little. Honestly, plants should not act like mammals. I think they're plotting something. Anyway, thank you very much for the award. I hope you have a lovely evening.
The best first novel represents a thirst. It shows an unrehearsed creative burst. Presented by Rebecca Gomez-Farrell.
Why, hello there. It's me, Rebecca Gomez-Farrell. I am exhilarated to present the Locus Award for Best First Novel. And the finalists are?
The finalists for the Locus Award for Best First Novel are Chain Gang All-Stars by Nana Kwama Ujjai Brenyi by Vajra Chandrasekara. Threads That Bind by Kika Hatsopolu. These Burning Stars by Bethany Jacobs. God Killer by Hannah Kaner. The Marigold by Andrew F. Sullivan. Shigidi and the Brass Head of Obalufon by Wole Talabi. Some Desperate Glory by Emily Tesh. Ink, Blood, Sister, Scribe by Amateurs.
And the winner is The Saint of Bright Doors by Vajra Chandrasekara.
Hello, I'm Vajra Chandrasekara, and thank you all so much for your love for my work. I'm grateful to everyone who nominated and voted, and to everyone whose labor makes all this happen. I'm sure most of you have already seen what I said when this book won the Nebula, so I won't say it all again, but I will reiterate 2 points. First, I've said, and I keep saying in different ways, that we have a responsibility of sabotage as artists. And I say that because we are cultural workers whose job it is, literally, to handle, to manipulate the load-bearing symbols and myths of our society. When genociders are on TV, declaring the war of light against darkness as if they were in an epic fantasy novel, It's time for us all to reflect on the weaknesses of these narratives, the damage we do by reproducing them uncritically, and the importance of understanding their Orientalist roots. And it's time for us all to teach ourselves to not build worlds like that, but to break them. Second, Gaza Municipality has a fundraiser to help them rebuild destroyed waterways and networks to supply clean water to Palestinians in Gaza City as summer temperatures continue to rise. Destroying wells is a monstrous and genocidal act as human civilization has known for 10,000 years. This fundraiser is essential, life-giving, life-saving work. You can and should both donate to it and promote it to your networks, your readers, your supporters. It's very easy to find. It's very easy to tell people about. You just ask people to go to the Gaza Municipality's website at mogaza.org. That's mogaza.org. And there's a green button there right at the top of your screen that says Gaza Help Campaign, which will take you directly to the fundraiser website. Thank you so much. And thank you again for your love and your support for my book. For those of you who haven't read it yet, I hope you enjoy it.
When you are young, everything's difficult. That's why we need the best novel for young adults. Presented by Cory Doctorow.
Hey again. So when I saw my first YA novel, people came up to me and they said, well, are you writing for children? I feel so embarrassed because I'm an adult that's reading it. And I would say, no, don't worry. The point of YA is to be enjoyed by young adults and adults alike. The thing that makes a novel young adult is that it won't get a youth librarian fired. And it turns out that that is a very narrow category indeed, one that gets narrower every day and makes the job of YA authors so much more important. And so tonight, here are your nominees.
The finalists for the Locus Award for Best Young: The Making of Yolanda La Bruja by Lorraine Avila, Damned If You Do by Alex Brown, A Song of Salvation by Alicia Dow, The Library of Broken Worlds by Elia Dawn Johnson, The Sinister Booksellers of Bath by Garth Nix, Into the Light by Mark Oshiro, by Maggie Takuda Hall, The Spirit Bears Its Teeth by Andrew Joseph White.
Okay, so that's a list of some serious bangers, but tonight's winner is a personal favorite of mine. The best young adult novel goes to Promises, Stronger Than Darkness by Charlie Jane Anders, published by Tortine and Titan UK.
Oh my God, thank you so much for this incredible honor. I cannot tell you how much this means to me, especially coming from Locus and the Locus community, which is such an important part of our field. It's such a vital, incredible part of speculative fiction right now. I love all of you, and I'm just so grateful for the support I've gotten from the Locus community over the last several years. I cannot tell you how much it means to me. And for this book in particular, Promises Stronger Than Darkness, it really means so much to me to have Locus and the Locus community recognizing this book, because it's really all about like questions that are on my mind lately, like how do we survive when things are tough and scary people and scary stuff is coming after us, and like do we fight ultimate evil by putting forward like our greatest hero, our greatest champion, like the ultimate superhero, or could we possibly be saved by a bunch of queer weirdos who kind of screw up a lot and question themselves and make mistakes and fumble around? And, you know, I feel like I'm with the queer weirdos over the like epic superhero who knows how to save the day and does everything perfectly. I'm on the side of the queer weirdos, and I feel like that's a good place to be right now. And I'm so grateful to everybody who's embraced that message and the notion that like, instead of going in guns blazing, maybe we take the time to try and understand people who are different from ourselves, people who are vulnerable, people who are chronically misunderstood, and, you know, marginalized, especially marginalized people. And I feel like that's a thing that we really need to talk about right now, is how to have more understanding and less violence. So I'm really grateful to all of you who have embraced this book, and so grateful for Locus every day. And I also want to thank my agent, Russ Galen, my editor, Miriam Weinberg, who just works wonders every day. Miriam Weinberg is an actual wizard, and I'm just always so grateful and in awe that I get to work with Miriam. And everybody at Tor Teen and Tor Macmillan, who worked so hard to make this book happen, Ceresia Fennell, just so many other people who I don't even have time to name. So grateful to all of you. And thanks again to Locus. Y'all are the best.
It's so scary, but we can't stop. It is like a trance. The best horror novel makes us crap inside our pants. Presented by author Sumiko Salson.
Greetings and salutations. I am Sumiko Salson, and I'm here to present the best horror novel. In a sometimes increasingly terrifying world, this often neglected dark corner of speculative fiction doesn't really serve to frighten us so much as it serves to help us confront our fears. That's why this is important. And here is a list of our nominees.
The finalists for the Locus Award for Best Horror Novel are Vampires of El Norte by Isabel Cañas, The Reformatory by Tananarive Due, A Haunting on the Hill by Elizabeth Hand, Starling House by Alex E. Harrow, How to Sell a Haunted House by Grady Hendrix, Don't Fear the Reaper by Stephen Graham Jones, A House with Good Bones by T. Kingfisher, Lone Women by Victor Laval, Silver Nitrate by Sylvia Moreno Garcia, Black River Orchard by Chuck Wendig.
Wow, that is a list of very, very impressive people. And this year, the winner is... Wow. For Best Horror Novel, A House with Good Bones by T.K. Fisher, published by Nightfire and Titan UK.
Hello again, everybody. I am still incredibly honored and would like to thank everyone, but you only get one clever speech per ceremony. I got nothing. The Titan Arum is also one of those plants that smell. That's the one that gets the giant thing and blooms for like a day and stinks to high heaven. Yeah, that's all I got. Thank you. Thank you very much. Be excellent to each other.
Best fantasy novels, something. Best fantasy novels fly under false flags. They're actually histories in mythic drag. Presented by Locus board member and author Isabeau Wills.
Good evening. I'm Isabeau S. Wills, and my pronouns are she, her. In today's science-based world, fantasy seems all the more necessary because it is through the fantastical imagination that we find hope. And the nominees are
The finalists for the Locus Award for Best Fantasy Novel are To Shape a Dragon's Breath,
Is it science or fiction? That's the contradiction. But the best SF novel is fueled by this friction. Presented by Liza Tromby.
Okay, this is the last one. I don't usually say very much, obviously, about the categories, but science fiction, can go a lot of ways. It can be really bleak, and it can contain sort of the horrors of the future, the dystopias, and possible ways that humanity can go wrong. But also, like for myself, it was a saving grace in times when I was young and lonely and felt exiled by my own community, and there was always another science fiction novel that was willing to sort of take me away and show me amazing possible futures and societies I could never have imagined, and give me a lot of hope. So that's one of the reasons that I do what I do, because I just love science fiction so much. So in this award we have
The finalists for the Locus Award for Best Science Fiction Novel are The Jinbot of Shantiport by Samit Basu, A Fire Born of Exile by Aliette Dubedard, Red Team Blues by Cory Doctorow, Furious Heaven by Kate Elliott, Translation State by Anne Leckie, The Terraformers by Annalee Newitz, Starter Villain by John Scalzi, Lords of Uncreation by Adrian Tchaikovsky, System Collapse by Martha Wells, The Road to Roswell by Connie Willis.
That's a lineup, right? I mean, that is a lineup. Okay, and the winner for the Locus Award for Best Science Fiction Novel is System Collapse by Martha Wells, published by Tor.com.
Hi, everybody. I'm very excited to win the Locus Award for System Collapse. I'd like to thank everyone who voted for me. It's very cool. And I'd also like to thank my editor, Lee Harris, publisher, Irene Gallo, jacket designer, Christine Foltzer, everyone else at the Tor.com team, jacket artist, Jamie Jones, and I also like to thank my agent, Jennifer Jackson, and Michael Curry. So thank you very much.
She's consistent, right? So that's it. That is the Locus Awards for 2024. I want to say some thank yous. I'm sorry, this is not the most exciting part. But to all the volunteers who put so much hard work and heart, and the volunteers or the employees of Locus who stepped up and did extra work, like Francesca and Kirsten and Bob and everyone else who really put in extra time on this. Our sponsors, Reid Hoffman and the Henderson Family Foundation, our friends of Locus for this year, Jacob Lavanik, Ayize Jama Everett, Adriana Gomez, Bradford Lau, Mark Tompkins, and I believe Sarah Guan. And to all the publishers who donated books, for you guys, hooray for the books, Rena Weissman and Fly By Night, Dave Clark at Cargo Cult, the representatives of the East Bay Science Fiction Fantasy Writers Meetup, the Afro Surreal Writers Workshop, Preservation Park, everyone else who helped out in ways large and small, our finalist narrator, Amelia Beamer, who could not be here, and special thanks to Emperor Stardust for shining and singing our way through the evening, who, with that, I will invite up to this stage one more time.
Everybody you know and everybody here will be forgotten in 1,000 years, except for maybe Cory Doctorow, whose DRM-free soul just grows and grows, but all the other things we wrote will seem the vapors of some vanished dream. But maybe in the radioactive junk or piled up in some fallout bunker, among the things blown to smithereens, there still survives a stack of magazines. And in this post-apocalyptic cellar, she tells the stories of the storytellers. Thank you, Princess Locus, Princess Locus, Princess Locus spoke her words and woke us. Princess Locus, Princess Locus. No hocus pocus when the princess evokes us. Princess Locus, Princess Locus. Princess Locus spoke her words and woke us. Princess Locus, Princess Locus. No hocus pocus when the princess evokes us. She's a princess. Thank you, Princess Locus.
If the presenters want to come up and have a photo on the stage, we could do that with the, Richard Mann would like to take that photo, so.